Welcome guys to the top 10 Nintendo Switch games for 2019. There's so many games that release on the Nintendo Switch every year, and so many of them are great, and this year has been no different. This is a really hard list to make, and this is my personal top 10 games on the Nintendo Switch released this year. Let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a recce is the gaming tech, gaming techie is the gaming tech, gaming techie.
Alright guys, so today we're doing my top 10 Nintendo Switch games for 2019. This list was really hard to make. There's a lot of good Switch games that are always releasing, whether it be from indie titles, whether it be from Nintendo, whether it be third-party developers. There's always good games to play on the Switch. I can't even keep up with the amount of games that are always releasing on the Switch. Luckily, it's a portable system, so it's one of the few systems that I obviously take with me to continue playing. So we're doing our top 10 for the year. And obviously, number 1 being the best one, in my opinion, all the way down to number 10. So, let's get right into the video, shall we? At number 10, we're talking about a game that literally came out of nowhere. I think it dropped out of nowhere for everyone, and it was really unexpected, and it came from Nintendo themselves. And we're talking about Tetris 99. Now, I'm not even a fan of Tetris in any way, shape, or form. Like, I know the game, I played the game. It was my first game on the Game Boy. It was the first handheld and system I ever owned. And I'm still not a huge fan of Tetris. I can't sit there and play for hours, but this game, I can play all the time. This game basically takes the Battle Royale concept that everyone loves to hate or loves to love, and basically drops 99 players. That's why it's called Tetris 99. 99 people go in there and play Tetris, and you got to be the last one standing. The last person standing is obviously claimed to be the winner. The higher you rank, the more points you get, and then Nintendo's always releasing like different themes and stuff. Like the Luigi's Mansion theme and stuff like that you're seeing that they release, and you can go in there and see some of those themes and stuff like that that they release on a weekend basis. Sometimes they have like things that you could do on a weekend only, where it's like, hey, if you play and get 100 points this weekend, you unlock this theme kind of thing. So really cool stuff. It came free when you were a Nintendo Switch subscriber, but now they did some DLC for it, so you can actually do this in single player too. So if you're not a big fan of playing online or whatever, you can still play Tetris on the go in this format. So really cool stuff, and literally came out of nowhere for me this year, and I've played this game a ton, and it's so addicting to get all those themes and stuff. So really solid number 10 at Tetris 99. Alright, at number 9 is a game that came out earlier in the year, and it is called Yoshi's Crafted World. This is a game that I didn't even know I would like. I knew about it, I saw the video of it, and I was like, I wonder if that would be something I would like as somebody who's into like Mario platformers and stuff like that. And then I remembered like Kirby's Epic Yarn that I played back in the day and stuff like that, so I was like, I should check this game out and see what it's all about. And this game has so much charm in it. The level design is literally awesome. Every single level feels like it's, there's no repetitiveness. Every single level is designed really intricately with the puzzles and stuff like that. The only knock against it is that it's a pretty easy game to play, but the charm and the graphics and the level design all take it up to the notch where it needs to be on this list. I had so much fun playing this game, and I think Nintendo hit it out of the park as far as creativity in the levels and stuff like that. You never know what to expect next. You never know what's going to come around the corner as far as what the levels go. And it looks outstanding, and it's so much fun to play. Really happy that Yoshi's Crafted World ended up coming to the Switch, because they did a really solid job with this game. So that is Yoshi's Crafted World at number 9. At number 8 is from a third-party developer, and I've been following this game for like over a year when it first got announced. And I am a big fan of local multiplayer. If you guys follow this channel, you guys all know that. And Switch has some great ones, and this is one of the greats from back in the day. It actually started as an arcade game, and I think it was 10 players in the arcade. And of course, I'm talking about Killer Queen Black. And goddamn, this game is so much fun to play with your friends. You can either play 4 people on the couch versus 4 people online, or you can do, if everyone has a Switch in the room, you could do everyone has 8 switches, or you could do 4 players on one switch and 4 players on the other. Is basically how the multiplayer is set up. So you can't do 8 players specifically on the Switch, but 8 players how the game is designed to play. And basically what it is everybody has a queen on their side that they're defending. If that queen takes 3 hits, then you immediately lose. There's 3 paths to victory. The queen dies, that's 1 victory. There's the economic victory, which you have to take a snail and move it across, and the other team's obviously taking that same snail and trying to move it across and stuff, and you're trying to kill each other. And then there's little snails that are going up trying to get the berries and stuff, and try to plant, I believe it's 10 different berries or 12 different berries onto their side without getting killed, and trying to do it the fastest, and that's another means of victory. So 3 ways of victory, 3 things you got to be paying attention to, 4v4. It's frantic, chaotic fun. I've been looking forward to this game ever since it got announced, and it really hit it out of the park for me. This game is absolutely amazing. I'm surprised I've never seen it in the arcades, but now I have it on handheld and on a portable system at home, so I'm really happy to have this one finally. That's Killer Queen Black at number 8. The next one on our list is probably one that people are going to have some controversy on because they probably don't think that it should be on this list, but I think you guys were wrong because this game is so much fun to me, and that is Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Kind of hit me by surprise because it came out and I was like, I wonder if it's going to be anywhere near as good as the other ones. They showed some gameplay and stuff. I was like, oh, there's only 3 dream events. There's not as many as I would want as far as dream events go. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I'm going to like this. And then they kept talking about the game and stuff. And then they announced the retro games. And it really took the package to another level. So not only do you have all the different events from the Olympic Games, like boxing and table tennis and, the track and field, all those types of things. And then you have the 3 dream events, which are really cool in its own right. Then on top of that, you have the retro events, which take those events like volleyball and track and field and stuff and retrofy them like they were in the 80s and 90s. And that really fulfills the package and completes it into a complete circle. So much fun with the retro events, so much fun with the newer events, and of course the dream events are still cool. I still wish that there was more of them. But there is a lot of cool content in this game, and you can play most of them online with your friends, or you can play them, obviously, locally, 4 players on the same screen, or, of course, it has local multiplayer with switches in the same room as well. So, really fun game from them, and I really hope that this series it sells well for them and makes a comeback, and they even make the game even bigger next time with even more events and more dream events and stuff, because really love this game, and I'm glad that it's back on the Switch. That is Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games at number 7. At number 6 is a game that I never actually played back in the day. And people are going to be like, I can't believe you've never played this, as a kid when this first came out or when I was a teenager. And I never actually played this game. So when it got announced for the Nintendo Switch, I was like, oh, I should probably take a look at this game because some of the people regard this as one of the best ones in the series, or at least in the top 3 or 4. And they're remaking it. And of course, I'm talking about Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch. And as soon as I saw the graphics style and everything, I was like, I should jump into this. And I haven't finished the game fully yet, but damn, am I glad I jumped into this game. The graphic style, of course, is absolutely amazing. The way that the graphics were redone on the Nintendo Switch, I did an awesome job on that. Different puzzles and stuff that you're going through, just like a Zelda game. The caves that you're going into, the puzzles you're trying to solve, the adventure you're on, the towns that you're coming up across, and the little nods that they do to different games and stuff like that, as Nintendo does. It's just really, really awesome stuff. And of course, they also added this new thing on there that lets you basically create your own dungeon. So when the game is over, not only is the story over, but now you got some additional content because you can actually take pieces of a dungeon and rearrange them in a certain way and enemies and stuff and see if your friends can actually get through that dungeon without dying, and you can download ones online. So it gives you even more replay value. And I'm having a hell of a lot of fun with this one. I'm more than halfway through the game, and I can't believe I actually missed this game when it first came out back in the day, but I'm glad I have it now, and I'm glad I'm playing through it. And that is The Link's Awakening at number 6. The next one on the list is the earliest game, I believe, that came out on this list, and it's a sequel to one of the games that a lot of people loved, and they really took the sequel to a whole new level. They literally added more and more and more, just like everybody would want. And of course, we're talking about Super Mario Maker 2. They took everything that you could basically want out of a sequel, and they basically did it. They added more types of different things that you can use, like course types and stuff like that. They added, most importantly, the best thing about the game is that they added different winning condition. So not only is it just finishing a level, but you could do a winning condition for the amount of coins. You could do a winning condition by, just different things that you can do and get creative with that really took the game to a whole new level. They added different pieces that you can add to the level, and of course they added different themes to the level as well. So it's not just the original Super Mario World and stuff. They added other ones as well, as you guys are seeing here in the video. And this game really took it up another notch. Now, the people are, of course, coming up with crazy courses. Of course, Nintendo provides a mini story or whatever with all the different levels that they created. I believe there's 100 of them. And this game is basically a game that you can have in your collection forever, with the people making new content and stuff, and with Nintendo still releasing updates to this day for this game. Just releasing Zelda as part of the last free update, where Link actually appears in the game. And you can actually use him as a character, and he actually has his special abilities with the sword and stuff. It really changes up the game. Really, really cool stuff that they're doing with the game. And I'm really, really happy when this game came out. And I'm having so much fun with it still to this day. And that is Super Mario Maker at number 5. The next one on the list came out over the summer, and this one literally, out of all the games on this list, was a shocker to everybody that it even got announced. And when it got announced, I was literally glued to my screen. I was like, are they really doing this right now? They're literally bringing this exclusive to the Switch that hasn't been around for years. And as a big person who got into Marvel for a while now, watching Marvel movies in the last couple of years, because it's crazy that I have never seen Marvel movies and stuff like that, and the TV shows, and yes, call me crazy, I'm in love with it now. God knows why it took me so long. But, of course, I'm talking about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I did play the first two on the original Xbox when they released, and the 360, but this one on the Switch did an awesome job. So many characters to choose from, exactly what you want, what I wanted out of the sequel, you know, button masher kind of fun with all the different characters you can play as. They're still releasing DLC for this game. They're still releasing DLC for this game as well, and you know, using all the different characters. Obviously, they all have their own move set and stuff, so you can go in there, play with 3 of your other friends, and it's just frantic fun. Button masher, just have the whole have a good time, and just use your favorite Marvel characters in this game. And I'm super glad that they made this game. Super impressed by how it turned out, graphics style and everything. And I was still super impressed that it even came out. I would have never guessed this game would get not only come out, but also be a direct, you know, exclusive on the Nintendo Switch when it obviously wasn't one back in the day. It's just awesome. And yeah, that is Marvel Ultimate Alliance at number 4. The next game on the list, of course, needs no actual introduction. Everybody knows what this game is, and everyone was waiting for this game for a long time. And there's a lot of controversy, the most controversy on this list for this game. And of course, I'm talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now listen, I understand the controversy. People want them to go even more. People want the full Pokédex in the game. People want them to go full out 3D open world Zelda-like. And maybe we'll get there one day. Maybe they needed this game to prove that this is their first game that is being developed at a home console, because obviously they used to develop these games only for the 3DS. This is their first main title that actually came from Game Freak on an actual console for the home. And maybe this is hopefully the start of something bigger. But what's here, if you're a fan of Pokemon, is still awesome. There's obviously a lot of new Pokemon. Even though the full Pokédex isn't there, there's still a lot of Pokemon that you remember from the original Pokemon. And of course, you know, you're going through the stadiums are really cool, a lot bigger, a lot more of a spectacle and stuff like that. And my favorite thing about the game, 2 things. One is the actual whole region that they added. Obviously, it's a completely new region, and I think the graphics in this game look outstanding as far as how they did the style, being able to explore the region and stuff like that. It all looks really, really good, going inside buildings and stuff. And then, of course, there's the wild area in the game where you can actually go over there and meet people and do raids with people, with 3 other people that you meet online, and you can do raids and try to take down Dynamax is how you pronounce it, I believe. I may be pronouncing that wrong. If I am, I'm sorry. And you basically try to take these Pokemon and try to capture them and stuff like that. Really, really fun, you know, going into the wild area, and of course you can catch crazy Pokemon in there that are above your level. So that's really cool that they added that. Alright, and it's a Pokemon adventure, it's a Pokemon story just like you're used to, just better graphics, new region to explore, new Pokemon to explore, and the wild area. Of course, on the next one that they hopefully come out with, I'm hoping that they go even further into, like, you know, open world-ish, like Zelda is what I would want Pokemon to be like, and add even more online features to connect with people online. Of course, you can play with people online and stuff and battle them, like always. So, that is Pokemon Sword and Shield, having a blast with it at number 3. The next one on this list even surprised me that I actually like it as much as I did. I am always an action fan. I'm always into action games, but they usually don't make my top 10 list. I have a lot of fun playing them, but they're usually not that high on my list. This game obviously literally blew me away. It is Astral Chain on the Switch. It came from Platinum Games, and I should have known because I love almost everything that Platinum Games does, I end up loving. And this game is no different. This game is so unique. Basically, you have your main character that you're using, and the name's escaping me right now of who the person that you're chained to in the game, Astral Chain. I forget the actual term that they use. It's now escaping me in my mind. It's going to really drive me insane. But you basically use him, and he can help you with doing attacks and stuff like that. But you're linked to a chain, so you're using him, and you're controlling both people at the same time. And it's really a unique control scheme and a unique gameplay that you're using to control these 2 characters at the same time, and they both have their own unique abilities, and you're fighting each other, fighting the enemies and stuff, and go through this action adventure. And the graphic style is literally awesome. The combat is freaking awesome to play as, and Platinum Games literally hit this one out of the park for me. It's my favorite action game that I've played in a really, really long time. And like I said, I shouldn't have been surprised it came from Platinum Games. I love all the games that they do, and this game was a blast. there's not much else to say about it. If you're an action fan and you own a Nintendo Switch, this is a game you need to have in your collection, or at least go try out. It's not like anything out there you've played before, and it has all that crazy zaniness that Platinum Games is known for. So that is Astral Chain at number 2. And the final game on this list that hits my number 1 for the year is another game that I never played when it actually came out. Crazy, I know, but I never played the original or the sequel, the original being on the GameCube and the sequel to that one being on the 3DS. And now we have the third sequel on the Nintendo Switch. Of course, I'm talking about Luigi's Mansion 3. For some crazy reason, I never played the GameCube version or the 3DS version, especially the GameCube version. I can't believe I actually didn't play that game. And I'm going to go through and play the GameCube version after I finish this game, but I'm too addicted to this game to even play that game right now. But this game is freaking awesome. The graphics are the best I've seen on the Switch. The graphics style, the environments that you're going through, every single level in the mansion is completely unique and completely different than the other. You literally have no idea what you're going to come up with first. The things that you can interact with within each floor that you're on in the mansion is literally crazy. You don't know what you're going to come up with next. The story is awesome that you're going through. The level design, like I said, is just freaking awesome. I love the charm in this game. I love capturing the ghosts and going through there and going through the levels and stuff. But not only do you have that, you also have the multiplayer mode where you can actually go in there. Can't remember the exact name of the game mode right now. But you guys are seeing it on the screen regardless of what the gameplay is like. But you basically, you use 3 other friends and you're trying to capture as many ghosts as possible. And just trying to capture as many ghosts as possible in a certain time limit and stuff like that to try and get the most points. That's like what is in there. And then there's also the other part of it, which is the Screen Park mode, which is basically 3 different game modes that you can play, 3 different mini games you can play against your friends as well, and that's a lot of fun. You can even play them online, or you can play them offline, local multiplayer on your couch. So that's really cool because you know, it's just a really fun game to play with your friends and stuff like that. Luigi's Mansion, and like I said, the level design in this game. I keep going back to level design, but each floor is just crazy because it's so unique and it's so different from one another. The creativity in this game is literally through the roof. Never played any game like this before, and that is why it's made my number 1 for the year on the Nintendo Switch. Everybody should own this game on their Switch if you haven't already played it or don't already own it. Guys, I recommend it to everybody if you guys have even a hint of interest in Nintendo property or Nintendo games. This is one you guys need to check out. So guys, that is my top 10 games on the Nintendo Switch. So many great games have released on the Nintendo Switch this year. These are my personal top 10. Really hard to come up with this list because there's so many other indie games that came out, so many other games that came out before this from third-party developers and stuff like that could have made this list and almost did, but just missed it. So guys, if you guys have any questions about any of the games you guys seen here today, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.
Tech, gaming techie is the gaming tech, gaming techie, gaming tech. Eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a brekkie is the gaming